Hey guys, John here from Sonic Drive Studio. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to check out this little cute guy by using Kettner, the StompMan. What is this little device all about? Well, let me show you. So the StompMan is basically the little brother to the AmpMan, which I have over here. So there's quite a big size difference between these two. The AmpMan, and in this case the AmpMan Modern, has 2 channels, a DI out, a gain boost, and all sorts of great functions. It's basically a very cool and compact, lightweight, solid-state amplifier. And by the way, I did an in-depth demo and review of the AmpMan Modern on my channel, which you can watch up here or down here if you're interested. Anyway, the StompMan is obviously much smaller and much more stripped down. In fact, it's basically the size of a sandwich, which is quite insane for a full-fledged amplifier. Now this one just has the clean channel of the AmpMan, or basically the clean channel of the Black Spirit, but it's actually more versatile than just a clean amplifier, as you can also push it into a nice overdrive. And it's a solid state amplifier with a wattage rating of 25 watts at 8 ohms. So that's a good amount of power for an amplifier of this size. So I think that you should be able to do small to mid-sized gigs with this one without a problem. And so tonally, the internal DNA of this amplifier is the same as the Black Spirit 200, basically the whole Spirit line by using Kettner. And the goal there was basically to create a solid state technology that emulates the sound, feel, and response of actual tube amplifiers, but with a little bit of extra flexibility and functionality. For example, this sagging control over here basically emulates power tube compression and saturation. And you can basically control those artifacts, or that basically tonal effect, with this control in a level independent way. So that's a really cool and neat trick. Now, since this is essentially a clean amplifier or a pedal platform amplifier, depending on how you want to use it, let's check out how it sounds with a clean tone and also with a reverb pedal up front. And for that, I will use my Laney Black Country Customs Secret Path reverb. And the guitar that I'll be using is my ESP LTD Phoenix Deluxe 1000 with the Fishman Fluence Modern pickups in it on the neck pickup for a nice round clean tone. On the StompMan, I'm running the gain quite low to keep it nice and clean, but I am going to turn up the sagging control to about halfway to add some nice organic power tube compression. And by the way, for all the clips in this video, I'm going direct. I'm using the line out, and from there on I'm going into York Audio impulse responses. And for this first tone, I'm using the MRSH 412 M25 cabinet, which is based on the Marshall 4x12 with greenbacks. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that right now. Cool. Quite nice sounding clean tones indeed. I'm really digging this thing. Now let's also check out some isolated tones. Alright, so as you can hear, for a clean amplifier, this thing has some really great and organic sounding tones in it. So even if you're just looking for a very compact, clean amplifier with not a lot of bells and whistles, this already could be a very nice device for you. Now let's take a quick look at all the controls on this thing. So we have a solo switch over here. This basically boosts the level for a solo or a lead or something like that. And with this pot on the back, you can basically dial in the amount of boost. So basically the level of the boost. And this switch over here either bypasses the effects loop or it bypasses the preamp section, leaving the power amp section active, which is a quite cool function that I'll talk about in a minute. Master is self-explanatory, of course. It's just the overall level of this device. The sagging control, as I just talked about. The gain control, which is also quite obvious. Then we have the presence and resonance control for dialing in the right amount of top end and bottom end. Very nice, I like that. And also this tone control over here for the preamp. All the way to the left, it basically sounds more MIDI. And all the way to the right, it basically sounds more scooped and bright. So kind of British versus American. On the back, we have the speaker out, 4 to 16 ohms, the power switch, the effects loop. And as I said before, the send is also a line out, so it can be used to go direct, which is what I'm doing in this video. There is no cab simulation on here, so you will have to add your own impulse responses or cabinet simulations. And of course, we've also got the input jack and this little switch over here that lets you choose between the two modes of this switch over here. So either the preamp bypass or the effects loop bypass. As I said earlier, you can crank the gain on this thing to get some nice organic sounding overdrive. So let's see how that sounds right now with the gain cranked up all the way using my LTD-Elite Eclipse 1 guitar with the Seymour Duncan pickups in it through that same York audio cabinet as I used before. And again, I will set the sagging control to about 6 o'clock just to get that cranked amplifier sound and feel. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a listen to that right now. That sounded great. Now also some isolated bits. Okay, so in itself, this amplifier has a quite nice range of clean to sort of low mid-gain tones in it. So you can definitely view this amplifier simply as a clean amplifier or a pedal platform amp. In fact, by bypassing the preamp, you can even use this thing as a power amp. And the cool thing about that is that all the power amp controls, such as the presence, resonance, sagging, and master controls, still remain active. So this thing basically emulates a tube power amplifier. So that's really cool for your pedal board to power either your preamps or your digital modeler or anything like that. I can actually think of many applications for this, so I really like this feature. And let's try this with my Friedman BEOD Deluxe pedal. And that will function as the preamp basically. And I will bypass the preamp on this pedal and just use the power amp. And let's try some really heavy rock and metal tones just to see how that sounds. Presence and resonance controls will be set quite high. And I'll set the sagging control a little bit low because we don't want a lot of power tube compression and saturation with modern metal tones. We still want a little bit of that though to warm it up, but not too much. And let's try this with my ESP LTD NW44 guitar with the bare knuckle aftermath pickup in drop C for some really aggressive tones. And this time I'll use the York Audio MES412 OS cabinet, which is based on the Mesa Moogie 4x12 cabinet with V30s. And by the way, on the Friedman BEOD Deluxe, I'm using the green channel with the tight switch to the bottom setting. Let's go ahead and check that out right now. Pretty nice, right? Now also isolated. So there you have it, the Using Kettner StompMan, this very cool and compact, lightweight, single channel amplifier that can also be used as a power amplifier for your pedal board. It's tiny, it's lightweight, it's cute, and it can be used for a wide range of applications. So I think that it's a really cool and fun piece of gear that many of you will find a use for. Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this little amplifier. I'd love to know. That's all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons down below along with the notification bell, as that really helps the channel out. I'd hugely appreciate that. And you can also follow Sonic Drive Studio on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys very soon. Cheers!